All right, today let's talk about our vacuum setup on a system. We have a system, we're ready to start it up. You don't just flip it on, you have to do the proper vacuum. So look over here, we got a field piece vacuum pump, oil. Make sure you always change your oil. You need to have clean oil on the vacuum, otherwise it will not work. Now look over here, here's our setup. So we have a micron gauge that's measuring how many microns. A micron is basically a unit of atmosphere, so like it's like a 100,000th of a psi. So without getting too technical, 856 microns in here. So that's pretty low. We need to be below 500 for a good vacuum, below 300 for a really good vacuum. On a VRF system, you want to be below 300, and you also want it to stay that way when you close the valve and you stop vacuuming, for example. You want this to decay, that's what we call the waiting period, to 8 to, it should not go over, let's say 500. But really, you don't want it to be jumping around at all. So it should stay at where you vacuumed it. That might take an hour or 2 or 3 of vacuuming. You leave it, just let it do it. So let's continue with that. Look over here, we got a Schrader core removal tool. So we remove the Schrader core, which is this. It's kind of like what's inside your tire, your bike tire. You remove it, and it allows us to have a nice open pipe that we can pull the vacuum through. We're pulling the vacuum through this pipe. The condenser is closed off. This valve is closed, and this valve is closed. So the condenser is closed off. We're only pulling a vacuum from here down. This has already been vacuumed and charged with refrigerant. So below here, it's not. It's empty. It's filled with air. So what we do is first we fill up nitrogen, pressure test it, at 500-600 psi. Let it sit for an hour or 2. If it doesn't drop at all, it doesn't move even an iota, you're good. Now, we're pulling the vacuum down through here, through all the air handlers, which are somewhere in the building, back up through this, through all the EVs, all the valves, back up to here. Okay? And we're measuring our microns, which are units of atmosphere, again, and moisture over here at this micron gauge, which now is at 849 microns. What are we doing with the vacuum? We're removing moisture, non-condensables. When you lower the pressure inside this pipe, which is what we do with the vacuum, it boils off all the refrigerant, all the leftover, moisture and garbage that's in there, and you have a clean pipe. It's another way of leak testing. If this thing holds underneath 500 psi, 500 microns for, let's say, half hour, which is a typical decay, you know that you don't have a leak. Anyway, so this is a pretty good setup. So take a look at that.